Like there are small dots.
Small dots?
It's just it's like small particles. Like all mixed up together. It feels like I'm in the middle of a rainbow.
Very good. So how big are you?
I'm very small.
And tell me more about this rainbow.
This rainbow is like a giant rainbow.
So why you are here? Why you're inside of the rainbow? Just feel it. What kind of a connection you have with the rainbow?
The rainbow is me.
Very good. So tell me, this rainbow that has absorbs energy, or you're holding energy?
Not really. It feels like it's floating.
It's floating? All right. So what are you floating for?
It's just the way it exists. It's just not for a specific reason.
All right. So what is the background?
Background of the rainbow? The rainbow has no background.
So besides the rainbow, what else do you see?
The rainbow
Travels in the space. Tell me your surroundings.
It just feels like it's moving around. Like in a rainbow tunnel.
Rainbow tunnel. So you feel you're inside of a tunnel?
Yes.
And tell me about this tunnel. What is the surface of this tunnel look like?
It has unicorn colors in a way.
It's shiny?
It's
or
shiny,
glowing?
twinkling. It feels like a stars.
Stars?
Yeah.
Tell me more.
So it made out of many different stars.
That's what the tunnel is made of?
Yes.
Is all the stars makes this tunnel? All right. So why you need to be inside of the tunnel? Or how you feel inside of the tunnel?
Free.
Free? Very good. What else?
When I'm inside the tunnel, I see another galaxy.
Another galaxy?
It's like different stars and different dimensions.
Tell me everything. So this is a big tunnel.
It is big. There's so much knowledge.
What kind of knowledge you feel you're getting?
It's a lot. So it's really overwhelming.
Is this the place that looks familiar to you?
It doesn't look like it's familiar, but it feels like I am a part of it.
You're a part of it. So as a rainbow, you're just part of this galaxy?
Yeah.
So what is your role? Feel it.
my role is to be observing.
To observe.
Yeah.
What do you observe?
Observe things that exist outside of the galaxy.
So since this is not the galaxy we're talking about, and I want you to see in your mind if you can come up with the name of this galaxy.
Where I'm at?
That's the name?
No. I'm asking the name of the galaxy that I'm observing,
Right.
or the one that I'm at.
Oh, so that's a different?
Yeah.
So tell me the one you're at.
Yes.
You might see the letter one by one.
It's Andromeda.
Can you spell it? Andromeda?
Yeah.
Okay.
A-N-D R
Oh,
N
very good.
E D
A. Andromeda. Okay, so you are in this Andromeda right now
Yes.
and observing another galaxy, another universe.
Yeah.
So the one you are observing, and use the same way to see if you can see the spelling.
It's unidentified.
You cannot identify right now?
Yeah.
Alright, so let's do that a little bit later. So, what are you observing?
I'm looking to see if there is irregular activities
Activities?
or things that are normal.
If something is not normal? Alright. And
It's like if something is coming or not.
it's coming. So, right now, when you're observing, did you notice anything?
It's moving.
What is moving?
The stars in the galaxies, they are moving slowly.
Slowly. Is that normal?
It's not.
It's not supposed to move that way?
It's nothing abnormal. It seems to be working the way it's supposed to.
Okay. But if you do see something is a little bit different, what will you do?
It will be like the moving objects that come into us.
To us? What do you mean us? To Earth? To Andromeda?
Yeah, to Andromeda.
Let me ask you, what is your relationship with Andromeda? Or you're just part of it?
I'm from here.
You're from there. And what are you? It's your knowing. You're just some type of energy.
I am the protector layer of it.
You are the layer of the as a protection for Andromeda.
Yeah.
So what do you protect Andromeda from?
From invasions from another galaxy.
Okay, so let's find out which galaxy is that. Is that the one you're observing?
Yes.
And you can maybe zoom in and just find out how you call that universe.
Tarak.
Can you spell it?
Tarak.
Tarak.
T-E.
T-E. Tarak. So, what is Tarak? What Tarak can do to Andromeda?
We are trying to understand.
So that's your mission?
Yeah.
To learn about Tarak?
Yeah.
So Tarak, it's like galaxy and holds a lot of stars.
It's darker stars.
It's what?
It's darker.
Darker?
Yeah, the darker star energies.
What does that mean?
It is. They have that intention. They are not light beings.
What are they?
They are dark forces.
So can you see the beings from this Tarak system?
They are not very clear.
But how do you sense the energy?
It's like entities.
Entities? And there are many?
There are many.
And so now, if I ask you how far away this Tarak from our galaxy, is this far away?
It used to be far away. But they're moving closer.
For what reason?
They are very invasive pieces. And they like to conquer.
Conquer? So now I want you to look a little bit closer. That is this Tarak system has any threat to the Earth?
They are a threat for the whole universe.
So what they are trying to achieve?
On Earth?
Or to other planets?
Resources.
To what?
They want to get the resources.
Resources. Alright, so let's say from Earth, what kind of resources they can take? Take a deep breath. Every time you do that, you will go to deeper state. what they're targeting.
They want to experience and do experiments
Mm-hmm.
on human body
Mm-hmm. In order
to enslave human species.
So what they can do, let's say if they use our body to do the experiment, what they can do to human, how they can make human being their slaves.
They inject a technology into our system.
Our system, what a system?
Light being system and human body system.
And they can
control and
manipulate the human mind.
Yeah.
So now I want you to look even closer if they're doing that right now.
They're working with different forces.
They work with other forces from Earth or from other planets?
From Earth and other planets.
And look closer, see if they have successfully manipulated human mind anywhere on Earth already.
They did in the past.
They did not?
They did in the past.
But they did in the past. How long ago?
Not too long.
Hundreds of years ago? Or
less than that?
I want you to see if you can see the number of the year.
1958.
And what happened?
There's a lot of conflicts.
In which area?
In the west of the world.
The west side of the world? In Europe?
Europe. America.
America.
And it's worldwide. It began in Russia.
It started from Russia?
It started in Russia. Germany. America. And
what did they do? What happened?
They make contact with the government there.
Okay.
And they doing some exchange.
Like a trade?
Technology.
So they provide a technology?
Yeah.
And what they're getting? Human bodies?
Experiments.
So they, because they provide a technology, so they have a right to use human bodies to do their experiment?
They are allowed.
They're allowed
to get information, and they are looking with secret government organizations to experiment different things.
And what was the results? What this event change the world?
changing the future of the earth.
To the worse.
Yeah, but we are working on fighting and erase that.
So, are they doing anything right now?
They have always been trying.
So the force like you, the energy like someone from Andromeda, and there are other energies, are the positive energies are trying to prevent this from happening?
Yes. There are many different forces. Even earthly humans are awakened to help themselves.
So, what do you mean? If someone is awakened, what they can do with this?
They can see beyond 3D dimensions, and they can identify dark forces. They understand technology. They can develop their own technology.
So they will not need the technology from them.
Yeah. But it's not. It's not there yet.
What is not there yet?
Human technology. There's a lot of blockage.
Blockage. Tell me more about the blockage.
The blockage is coming from the density of the earth. Because not enough people are awakened. And there's still the density of separation and polarity.
Polarity.
Yeah.
Okay. What else are you observing? Or what else you noticed
on Earth?
Let me ask you this: what kind of a role this COVID is playing?
COVID is it's an event that needed to happen.
For more people to become awakened?
Yes, and also for more souls to come.
More souls to come.
More help coming.
So how does that work? Reincarnation. So are you talking about the people who died from COVID? That they can let other souls to come?
Yeah. in a way.
So those souls are.
There are many walking souls right now.
Where are they from?
They're from different planets, different forces that
Okay.
were sent to be here.
And also there are souls from Andromeda.
Not a lot.
So is Kelly is one of them?
Kelly
Is one of the walk-ins?
no, she was here before.
Okay. So those walk-ins, what they do? What's the purpose for them to come in?
Well, they was not supposed to come in too early. And
Too early?
They make some soul contracts with people to come in just at the right moment
To do what?
to raise awareness.
So how they do that?
How they do
How
the
they
walking.
how they can help human on Earth to raise their consciousness?
By raising the awareness and vibration of the physical body that they want in.
So how they raise the vibration of the physical body?
Because they are themselves higher beings. They just
So they can set up.
naturally know the way applies to that physical body.
So they raise their own vibrations, or they can also raise other people's?
By raising the physical body that they are in, and by helping others in realize their true potential, they also can help raising the collective consciousness.
So you just said that there are a lot of walk-ins right now. So those are already, they're not just souls are, waiting to be born. They are, you're talking about human beings on Earth right now. There are a lot of them are those walk-ins.
Yeah.
And
People that have near-death experience.
near-death experience? So they are those walk-ins,
Not all, but they are.
most of them.
Yeah.
So the near-death experience is not by accident. Is pretty much that's a part of the agreement.
No, not accident.
So those experiences they happened for a reason.
Yes.
But most walk-ins, they wouldn't know they are.
Depends on where they're coming from.
So
What kind of soul that doing the working in the contracts.
and some they consciously or unconsciously they know who they are.
Yes, it could be both.
So tell me more about Kelly's soul.
So,
What is the purpose for her to come to Earth this time?
she is here to heal.
To heal.
She has a very old soul. She's here to heal her own soul and other souls.
In order
to be back.
in order to go back
Yeah.
to Andromeda.
Yeah.
So, how many lives altogether she had? If you say she's also
On Earth?
not just on Earth, from the first life till now.
Three
3,000.
4
3, 4.
7 5.
3,475.
Yes.
And how many she had on Earth?
Three.
Only 3. So why this time? What is special about the time she was born?
She's here to be in union with her split soul.
Split soul. Is this person's name is part of it? Jerome?
Yes.
So tell me about the split soul. What is the purpose to have a split soul?
Well, originally there only one soul coming from Andromeda, but the soul is really big that cannot be manifested in just one
Body?
physical body. And the soul itself is curious to be experience different lifetime and experiences, but the soul is one. So in order to be in this physical earthly body, we have to split
To 2.
to two.
But this does not happen to every soul.
No.
So when the soul split to 2 and goes to 2 physical bodies, this is still not 100% energy of the soul. It's just part of the energy.
Yeah.
And so the other part is always stays in the spirit world. So when Kelly has this split soul, so what they do with each other as one soul?
They helping each other to grow and experience different things in life from many different lifetimes.
So the split soul, the 2 split souls, they can be what kind of relationship they can form? Friends, couples. It can be any form, or
It could be many forms, but it depends on different contracts and agreement that they have before they split.
So is this the first time Kelly is experiencing split soul? So she is experienced.
Yeah, in her last life.
Last life on Earth.
Yes.
Is this the life that she, when she was doing meditation, she saw that the village has been burned? Is that the life?
Yes, that was right.
And when was that?
(9:47).
9:47. And where is this?
South Asia.
Southeast Asia?
Yes.
Okay.
It's in a village up in a mountain.
Mm-hmm. So who was Kelly's soul's split soul? Kelly was a female?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Her split soul is not in the village.
Mm-hmm.
He's from like an invasion group.
In a what?
An invader
Mm.
group.
So it's different village. The village who invaded.
Yes.
Mm. So what Kelly's soul supposed to learn from that life?
The circumstances is not of her control. She has to let go.
Mm-hmm. Very good. So what is Kelly's purpose of this life? I know you mentioned to heal.
She needs to heal her relationship. Her split soul.
Mm-hmm. That's the one of the purpose of this life.
One of the purpose.
Mm-hmm. Who is assisting right now? Who am I speaking with?
Higher self.
Her higher self. Very good. So who brought Kelly to this session?
Her ancestor.
Mm. For what purpose?
She asked for guidance
Mm.
and she wanted answer.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Without this session, she wouldn't know who her origin is.
She somewhat had been sent information
Mm-hmm.
and she has feelings of what it is
Mm-hmm.
and why she needs to be here,
Mm-hmm.
but she has so much doubt.
Mm-hmm. So that's why you let her see those visuals when she was doing meditation?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. So, what's the difference between the split souls and soulmates?
The split soul
Mm-hmm.
and soulmate.
So soulmates are two different souls?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Soulmates in your soul family or in your soul group
Mm-hmm.
that you have spent many lifetimes together before,
Mm-hmm.
on Earth or not on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it could be on different planets.
Okay.
A split soul, or we call twin flame.
Say one more time.
Twin flame.
Twin flame. So split soul equals twin flame.
Yes.
Mm. So they're supposed to be together.
Yeah. They originally is one.
Mm-hmm. And they always find each other.
Yes.
How they find each other? there any signs?
They just know. They are aside from guidance spirits, but they know.
When they see each other, they feel that.
It depends. The person that more spiritual, more aware, they know earlier.
Okay.
But there's always a sense of home.
So when they see each other. All right. Does Jerome knows unconsciously?
He knew and he beginning to understand.
And he will understand more and more from now on?
Yes.
So, talking about those negative energy, is it something that is really influencing Earth?
Yes.
There's also a saying that 2045, or something will happen 24 years later.
From now, the time is fluid. It could happen sooner or later. It depends on how we progress on Earth.
Depends on what we do now.
Yes. We were supposed to get there even earlier than the year that you mentioned. But we got help
From where?
from different forces, like beings, guardian angels. They're doing a lot of work.
So, another question I'd like to ask is, so why, when we were born on Earth, when we decide to incarnate or reincarnate on Earth, we will be wiped of those memories in the past. So we are veiled, but let's say hypnosis or other modality can lift the veil. Why this is allowed?
Why is hypnosis is allowed?
Allow people to find out who they are. Remember.
It's allowed because the true self, their own soul, asked the questions. Their intention is to know and to learn and to expand. The reason of the reincarnation is to learn and expand and experience and to truly understand the lesson. So when it comes to the point where the person, true self, wants to know the answer, it's a sign that they're ready to expand and learn even more.
Is this something that has been, how to say, it's in that person's DNA?
Yes.
So that means the time is, the DNA is ready to be activated?
Yes.
So that means when someone is not awakened, that means their time is not their time yet.
If they're not ready.
But the question is why they are souls come to Earth to learn, to evolve, but they're not ready. Sometimes in their entire life. What is the purpose?
When they come into Earth, to learn and grow, but through many different lifetimes and reincarnations, there's an accumulation of karmic, of darker entities. There are different things that they went through. They might also have contracts with darker entities that prevent them.
But why the soul wants to make those contracts?
There always a reason behind the contracts. Maybe in that lifetime they want something to be achieved, and they make the contracts. Or sometimes they're being tricked to make the contract. Sometimes they lost part of their soul.
They lost what?
Part of their soul.
Part of the soul.
So they cannot fully come to their potential.
How we can lose part of our soul?
When we experience a lot of pain. A lot of pain, and we feel like a part of our soul has gone. Like when we say you're from a different dimension, you're from a different planet, you don't experience pain before. You have never, and you came to Earth to learn something, and the pain in your physical body is so much, your spirit or your soul in a way could not handle it, and part of it is being let go out of your body, out of your soul collections.
So when this, let's say that happens and we lost part of our soul, what the soul would do?
The soul in the physical body.
In the physical body, the leftover part.
They lost as well.
But the soul still is in control?
The soul have less control of the person than, so the ego have more control.
So that can happen.
Yes.
So if that happens, the soul just let it happen.
They don't have much control.
But what the higher self will do?
The higher self would try their best to guide and send signals, send signs. But it's up to the person's free will to try to go back to it or not.
So that's why we should always follow our intuitions.
What do you?
So when the higher self sends signals, so this physical body can feel by using their intuition?
Yes. Yes, it's really important to always listen and develop to listen. Sometimes when your intuition is really strong, you have to always listen
And follow.
and follow. Sometimes there's no reason for it, there's no logical reason for it, but you still must follow. Even though sometimes it's very risky.
Risky. Let's say if we, sometimes we, because we don't really know or we don't really believe, and we feel, oh, this feeling can take me to a risky situation, and so we stop. But you are saying it doesn't matter if it's logical or not, we should always follow.
Yes, but it's also important to understand fear and intuition. Fear, the voices in your head. Intuition is how you feel.
So fear is from the ego.
Yes.
And is ego equals human mind?
Yes.
Another question. So if those dark forces, if they want to achieve their goal, with those, how to say, let's say healers can be, hypnotists, can be a Reiki practitioners, are they going to be more targeted by those dark forces?
It could be.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's very dark forces. They're from different planet. In their planet, they also have very high end, they're very high in their own technology.
Mm-hmm.
So we're trying to help and we're trying to detect the intention,
Mm-hmm.
but sometimes it's not as easy as we think.
When you say we, who do you refer to?
We are from Andromeda.
Okay.
We are from the Federation.
The Federation. What's the name? Is this galactic, or something else?
Human like to have name. We don't really define ourselves. We know our roles.
So what is your role or mission?
I have different roles in different lifetimes, and sometimes in one lifetime, different roles. This is reactive to the situation.
So, since there's no time, no past, no future, so when you say different lifetime, what do you really mean?
There's no time as in we can access it from our mind and from our intention. But because there's also no time and space, everything is happening.
Or everything has happened.
It's happened, has happened, and will happen.
So why the beings from Andromeda, they are willing to fight with those dark forces?
It's our job.
That's always the case?
Yes. It's our job to protect Earth and our galaxy.
Just, let's say if I want to visualize, or Kelly wants to visualize it, source energy, what the type of energy is that? How we can even know that is not other energy?
It's warm.
It's warm.
It's powerful. It's protecting. It's bright.
It's bright.
And it's loving.
So there are a few times that I feel that I was channeling source energy. Is that the case?
When is the time that you mentioned?
When I was in Amazon last year, 2020, in October, in Peru.
Shouldn't there is one more time?
The time is 2020, and in Peru, in October.
No, I mean there was one more time. Of source. Yes.
So what is the purpose? Why me?
What there's is because you have the potential to help other people around you. And you used to be higher dimensions be, that you are closer to God, to, I would say, the source energy. So it gives you easier access. It gets to you quicker. You understand quicker.
So will you say that Kelly is on the right path right now?
She is.
She is. But she's wondering if this is the right place for her to stay.
What do you mean the right place?
She's still...
Yes.
So she doesn't have to worry about this.
No.
And she has a little bit challenge when it comes to the relationship between her and her mom. Is there any lesson behind?
Yes. I know this is very difficult, but she came into this life with a challenge to learn to love herself without any validation from anyone else.
She's supposed to not to have the validation.
She has always had, but she needs to recognize and to learn that she's responsible for herself. She's responsible for her own happiness.
Not from her parents.
No. She's here to help her parents.
Oh,
with
she's
their,
here.
with their karma from different lifetimes.
So is that happens very often that the children can be here to teach the parents?
Not to teach, but to help in a way. Because Kelly, she is not from Earth. She made a soul contract with her ancestor on Earth to be here to help clearing their karma.
To clear the karma.
Yes. Of the ancestor. So, in a way, she quite suffering in her childhood because she agreed.
And this question, so I'm not sure if this is the term that that you recognize, star seed, or this is just something that we made it up. We're talking about those souls who volunteer to come to Earth.
Well, everything is made up, but doesn't mean it's not true. Every names are made up, but it has a sense of it. It makes some sense.
So can you say that she is one of the star seeds?
I mean, she's from Andromeda, so she is. The definition is from star seed is a human that has higher dimensional soul or composition into their family soul group.
So after this life, she might go back.
Well, it depends on what she wants to do in this life.
So, what is if you can tell me a little bit about this Andromeda? Andromeda, the beings there, they're all in a, how to say, in a light form?
So Andromeda, there's Andromeda and Andromeda galaxy. Andromeda galaxy has somewhat human-looking kind of form, and they're also just light beings.
They can be in a physical form.
Physical, but not as small as human.
Not as heavy as.
Not small and heavy, but small but heavy.
So we're small and heavy.
Physical human form is heavy, but the figure is small. Our figure are way bigger, but we mostly made out of energy, so we are very light.
So, so the beings on Andromeda, what do they do besides helping, planet Earth to fight? What is the life like there?
We have our own life. We just we do have male and female. We do have galaxy work to do. We take care of light energies of the galaxy.
But what do you do with the light and?
It's like white like forces that we travel from planets to planets to infuse light being and to infuse energy, positive energy, good energy, to somewhat help protect and make sure those planets that doesn't have high technology, advanced technology, to protect themselves, to be able to have somewhat of protections.
So
they see and they can identify darker entities and entities that not belong here.
But so far, we never heard anyone, let's say, a spiritual master said, yes, I know those people are not human. They are, dark energy from other planets. So far, I never heard anyone identified.
What do you mean?
So you say when we raise our consciousness, becomes, let's say, raise our frequency, so we'll be able to tell. But why so far nobody identified?
What's the purpose of them announcing it?
Oh, so they know, but they don't have to tell others.
Yeah.
Is it something that we can, when we raise our frequency, we can develop this ability?
Yes, absolutely.
So those psychics, in a way, they are those people?
Depends on how they want to be psychic.
What their intention is. So those dark energy, what is how to say, why that's the only thing they're interested in doing? Why they became like that?
Well, they don't became, they were born.
Like,
well, exist like that.
Is this also for the polarity or contrast on Earth?
It's not just on Earth. There's Earth is very low frequency, but there are lower frequency planet, higher frequency planet that is occupied by dark forces, and they exist. And
but why they're allowed?
it all has
Its purpose.
its purpose in this cosmic evolution.
So that's the role they need to play.
Yes.
So there's a, how to say, we shouldn't be afraid of that.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
But when we think about those dark energy, we just feel we want to stay away since they have high technology. What's the best way to deal with them?
The more you channel the source energy, the better you will feel. And the better you'll be protected. And when you're able to channel source energy, you can also channel higher beings from different planets to protect you. You can call to them.
Just by doing meditation, we can achieve that?
Yes.
So sometimes when we feel life is on Earth is very challenging, and that can be because those dark forces energies here that made life even more difficult.
Yeah.
So as a higher self, when you see that, you can give us those kind of feelings to let us know that we should be careful.
Yeah.
But most people don't. Besides the intuition, we don't really feel that we're connected with our higher self.
What do you mean?
So what is the easiest way for us to be connected with our higher self anytime?
You live with an open heart.
To be open-minded, open-hearted?
Open-hearted. Open-hearted. Your heart has to open first. And then your mind will be opened. And your third eye chakra.
What chakra?
Third eye.
Third eye.
Will be open. And then you open all the chakra around your body.
So we can do that on our own.
You're very powerful. Human being has all the potential.
So when we came to Earth, at what stage or moment that we lost the memory, we became amnesia?
We as human.
So let's say the soul, right, from the spirit world and decide to come to Earth. Let's say Kelly's soul, and so she will choose this particular life for her to reincarnate, and then the soul will enter the womb, right, after going through the tunnel and to come to Earth, this low frequency place, and then the soul will enter the womb. So, and then this baby will be born. So at which part that we will lose the memory of who we are?
It depends on the baby, the family background.
It can be before the baby was born or after.
Yeah, most of the time the baby knows when the first year before they talk, they know.
They still remember.
Some part of it, yes. Some baby can remember until they 2 or 3. But when they fully can communicate, only when it's losing.
What is Kelly's case?
She knew until she was 2.
So till 2, she knew who she was.
Yes.
But how, as a baby, how the baby reacts to this fact?
The fact that she's reincarnated.
That she is this powerful being from the spirit world, from Andromeda.
But she's just accepting it. She was like, well, she has a lot of doubt with her agreement. She was like, is this what I'm trying to do? And then
when was that?
So she was born, and then 2 years of her lifetime, in the first 2 years of her experience, before she know how to speak. She wasn't.
She accepted?
Only when she accepted, then she lose her memory.
So that's how it works.
Just for her case.
So how the soul, let's say her soul and her body, how they match?
Match in a way.
To be able to work with each other.
But so for Kelly, she still struggle in a way, because sometimes she's not here.
She's not here. She's there.
Yeah.
What?
She always trying to be somewhere else than here. Because sometimes her soul just physically she's here, but she just left.
This happens also, let's say when she was sleeping.
Yeah, and a lot when she was teenager or younger, but now she's like getting to be more accepting.
So that's why we dream.
Yeah, to communicate.
So
to be somewhere else. Dream is not dream. Dream is your soul reality.
So now, too much sense when we talk about dreams.
It don't make sense now, but it will later.
Because we just don't know that much. So does Kelly does she do anything specific in her dreams?
Well, she's very curious about everything, and every time she sometimes go to the past, sometimes she go to the future of her lifetime, in this life and the last life. As I said, she's just everywhere. She doesn't stay still.
Is that okay?
As long as she doesn't exhaust herself. I mean, it's fine, it's her nature, but
she's curious.
She's too curious.
Is that that's the nature of the soul, right?
Well, for her, she's like it's because she's from Andromeda, and Andromeda nature is they very free. Freedom is everything to them.
Free spirit.
Extremely free, because they are from 12 dimensions being.
12.
So freedom is what they are, and to be free is everything.
And that's why she likes to travel.
Yes, but she travels a lot in her meditation and her dreams.
To different planets.
Yeah, and sometimes even when she awake, she just bored, and then she just shift.
So we do that all the time.
We especially for not too earthly soul.
Not too earthly soul.
Yeah.
Okay. So another thing I wonder, for example, your Kelly's soul, and you're Kelly's higher self, and I have my higher self. So how the higher selves, how they connect with each other?
Like you say, me and your higher self having a conversation.
So let's say you are the higher self of Kelly, and my higher self. Can my higher self communicate with you?
If possible.
Do they do that?
it's possible. Yes, if your frequency matches. Like Kelly higher self. This Kelly higher self and her twin flame higher self is easily communicate
because it's one soul.
Yes.
So since Kelly is here, doing the session with me, do I have any connection in the past with Kelly soul?
On Earth?
Or anywhere else?
We had a good encounter from lifetimes before.
And on a different planet?
Yes.
And that's so if two people they met somewhere, that means that they had some sort of connection in the past?
Yeah, because they met somewhere. It could be a good connection or bad connection, but they have had an intention set. Or I would put it as like an agreement to meet again. Either to have a good time again, learn again, expand again together, or resolve or the unfinished business getting solved, or they pay back the karma or karmic seed that they planted.
So there's also is there such thing that the level of the soul? Let's say level 1, level 2, level 5. So to understand which one is older, younger, or more evolved.
You mean layer 2?
No layer, ranking. Let's say this is a young soul, so it's not very evolved soul. There's such thing like.
You mean from a different human soul or from just one soul?
So let's say Kelly's soul, and because let's say her mom's soul or someone else's soul, right? So by looking at the color of the energy, can we tell that that soul is more evolved?
Yeah, you can. When you look at the soul of a person, you can tell where they're from. You can tell how many lives they have had. You can tell their nature. You can tell, so in a way, how young or old.
Okay, so how can you tell by looking at the energy to know the background of the soul?
Do you mean?
As you just said, like how many lives the soul had. So from where?
From their aura.
From the color? So, for example, I believe, let's say, white is a little bit like new, and then next is yellow, and then blue, and then purple.
No, because from Andromeda and Andromeda galaxy, we have white and blue.
White and blue.
And our aura is pure white. It's not. It doesn't mean that we have very young soul.
Okay, so that's always the case. The aura is always white.
For if the soul is straight from Andromeda, yes, it's pure white, but it's very rare. It's almost like a walking. They have had no life from any density planet or low frequency planet. But sometimes their aura could be mixed with different planets that they have visited. So in general, a person could have dominant one color, maybe white or blue or yellow, depends. But they do have some mix-up of different colors.
So that's it because they mixed them with other energy.
They got mixed with where they visited or where they've been from different lifetimes.
So what's the light color of the soul and also the human aura, do they have connections?
Human aura and
The color of the soul's energy.
is
Is the
it's
same?
intertwined.
Meaning?
Meaning, when you look at a person aura,
Mm-hmm.
it somewhat tell you their origin,
Mm-hmm.
but there's a layer of it is from their karmic past life.
Mm.
So you have to differentiate between the two.
So, but the color of the aura changes all the time, is that right?
Yeah, because
Depends on their
the
situation. Mm-hmm.
So that's the layer that you have to be
The-
able to differentiate.
So that is depends on the situation. Is the layer of this karmic energy.
Yes.
But so on Earth we cannot see each other's aura just because we have low frequency.
So you can develop to see it, but not always the case.
Some people do see. And how about children?
So they see better.
They see better. And animals, they can see.
Yes.
They can see our aura.
Yes.
So,
The reason is because their heart is more open. They feel more. Animals and children, they feel more.
they don't have, or they didn't develop human mind yet.
Not fully developed yet. And the mind is speaking too much.
So, what is the best way for us to be out of our mind?
You don't want to be out of your mind.
Just to not to let the human mind control too much.
Well, it all comes with practice and acceptance.
Acceptance. Accept everything.
Yeah, accept that you are here. You are here. You accept your life here. You accept you are human. You accept that you are on Earth. And like Kelly needs to be rounded.
It needs to be what?
More rounded. She needs to accept that she's here now.
So let's say we accept the fact we're here in a human body, but when we have challenges in our life, it's difficult. Sometimes it's physical adversity, sometimes it's mental. How we can really remember who we are, or understand that whatever comes to us, there's a purpose.
It's all about trust.
About what?
Trusting.
Adjusting.
No, trusting. Trusting that you're here for a purpose. You're here because there's something beyond all of this.
But everything happens for a reason.
Everything happened for a reason.
There's no coincidence.
You chose this before coming into this life. You commit to this.
So the more we accept this whatever the situation we're in, the better we can overcome.
Yeah, the better you can navigate your way out of it.
How many spiritual guides Kelly has? Why she needs that many?
It's not a lot.
That's normal.
Oh, it's not like normal, or it's just it's because she has many lifetimes. Through all those lifetimes, she have a relationship with a lot of different spirits and guides and ancestor that wants to come and protect her in a way, or different soul that just want to be a being, like being a soul being. They don't want to manifest themselves in any physical form, but they still want to
get some
be
sort
around.
of.
So they're there.
And any of her guides are the beings that we know, or kind of more
Being that we know. And
her spiritual guides among these 36 beings, anyone, let's say Jesus, let's say Archangel Michael, any those beings?
Archangel Michael.
Okay.
Her grandmother.
Grandmother.
Some Buddha's energy.
Buddha energy.
That I would say that human or like angel she know of in this life, but other than that, there's a lot of different spirit guidance that she doesn't really know in this life.
So what is the different role that you serve as the higher self and the guides?
Higher self is closer to her, to send out signal through intuition, to kind of like tell her to look at that thing, look at this thing, 5 sides, 5 directions. So that's different.
That's higher self, and the guides are like assistants.
They protect, they assist, they plan.
So when is the perfect time for us to call our guides to help?
There's no limit of when or how many times or when you really need, they always show up.
They show up, yes. But for example, me, I feel when I'm calling them, I'm not sure if they're really around me. So how can we know?
You ask for a sign. You decide what side you want to see, and if they there.
Left side or right side?
No, a sign, a signal.
A sign, a signal. So let's say if I want to see a feather if you're close, so that can be the agreement with them, or certain smell.
Whatever you decide, you ask.
And then when they are near us, how can we feel their assistance?
You can feel that you are being protected. You can feel a warm embrace energetically. You can feel that your soul is being lifted a little bit. There's tingling energy surrounding you.
And maybe some sort of clarity.
If you ask the question, yes.
And so the more we practice this, the better that we can do. They always come when we call their names.
But they always come because they're always there.
That's they have nothing else to do.
Well, no, because not that they have nothing else to do, but because their power and their energy is beyond human understanding. So they're always there. The space-time is human definition. There's no space and time.
There's no space and time.
So they there. They're just there. It's not like what it is here on the physical world. It's like, oh, you here and they like 5,000 kilometers away. It's not like that, and they have to travel. It's not like that.
So let's say if Kelly has 36, they don't need to come when she needs help, all together. You just some of them. Well,
I would say yes, because they do have different power.
And so one, let's say Archangel Michael, obviously he's a guide for a lot of people, so they can assist multiple people. Because there's no time. So we are protected all the time.
Yes.
But let's say if we have this fatal disease, cancer, or anything that lead the body to a very difficult situation, what is the purpose?
The purpose is still to learn, to expand, and to grow. And everything that you experience in this physical world, it stays here.
Is what?
It's here in the physical world. Your soul lives on. So the purpose is for your soul to grow. The physical body of a lifetime it's a lifetime of human, but for your soul, it's just another hour.
An hour.
I would say an hour just because we define time and all those things that are very limited, but there's no limit.
But why we're so caught up in the physical life?
Because we here, that's how this our reality at this moment. And it's part of the challenge.
So let's say the people who have 9-to-5 job and they work for 30, 35 years or 40 years. So is this the soul is served its purpose?
What do you mean? Like,
So what is the soul wants us to do here?
the soul, your soul has different purpose than other people's soul. If you ask the general questions, then
It's hard to answer.
it's hard for me to pinpoint exactly.
But is this in common that the soul wants us to do something to keep creating?
In general, yes. For you to create and for you to be better than what exists.
So let's say if someone stopped working or lost their job, or retired, and they don't do anything, they stay at home. Is this something that will make the soul get frustrated
Because they're not working?
because they're not doing much?
Because they choose not to do much?
Yeah, they chose to, let's say, retire.
But then...
So the soul, it's okay with this kind of situation?
Well, it's not okay or not okay. It's because even they choose to rest, it's an experience, no?
So that can be part of the agreement, the soul's agreement?
Yeah, but rest meaning they just stay home doing nothing, laying down or resting. They have things to do, just not like physical work or mental work.
But let's say because the person is not doing much and the person slowly developed this depression, let's say, or anxiety. Is this what is the cause of those? I know this is a very general question. What is the purpose of for someone to feel depressed?
Well, it's because they, in a way, subconsciously or unsubconsciously, they feel kind of lost. They're not connected to their higher purpose or their purpose in this lifetime. Then they go into, I would say, contemplations to seek for their answer. And sometimes it could be really dark, and it could be because you're lost, so you feel dark. And when you're dark, it could lead to things that are unnecessary. True, because you're not being connected to the light. So you'll be distracted with your voices, your egos, your human mind that is not true to yourself. So people can go into depressions and find themselves again, but they could also be lost.
And if that's the case, is that also part of the soul's agreement?
Most of the time, yes.
So they, before they came, they agreed to experience that.
Yeah. They agree to experience something, and their goal is to overcome it. But if they will they overcome it? It depends. So if they don't, then they come back to do the same thing
Again.
Yes.
So when we choose, when we pick life or select life before we came, and that is just the, how to say, the not everything will happen exactly that way, because life happens, so things can happen, but we kind of, let's say the bigger events, where you will be born, who you will be your parents, who you are going to marry, who will be your children, those things are preset.
Yes.
And those will happen the way as planned.
80%.
Still, something can happen and change that plan.
20% is your free will.
That's always the case.
But if some people have very strong will, it can be more than 20%.
So we can change our life. Very good. So do you need me to do or can you do a scan of Kelly's body and see if there's anything I need to work on?
She needs to speak up more.
So her throat area, there's any energy it's preventing her from doing that?
It's just because of where she's coming from. She's from Andromeda, and in Andromeda is we communicate through telepathy. So without words a lot. So when she comes into this light, even though she's been here for a while, but she's not used to it. She doesn't know, not used to communicate with words.
So what she can do to develop, let's say, more way to express herself?
But just be confident and be more just kind of like talk more a little bit. Like sometimes she feels like she doesn't need to talk, and she's just observing, and it's just in her nature of observing because that's her work. But she can speak more. Sometimes people don't understand her because she's assumed a lot of time that people can sense what she's thinking. But it's not always the case because some people just completely blocked. So she
needs to express more.
Yeah, express more so people can understand her and knows where she's coming from and understand her intention. So it would help her more in the future, or even in the present when she can articulate the situation and express herself.
So after this session, she will be more expressive.
I would take her sometimes.
Anything anywhere else?
Her heart.
Her heart.
She needs to open her heart more. She needs to. No, she open, but she open and then she put up a wall, and she open and then she put up a wall. It's not fully open.
What is the easiest way for someone to open their heart more?
Kelly especially would be vibrational music.
So, what is vibrational music?
Could be chanting, could be singing, from singing or opening, like operating like higher frequency from your heart by singing.
So she needs to sing.
Singing, chanting, saying affirmation and things.
So that is Kelly's case. Very good. Anything else we need to work on? Any last message for Kelly for today?
Trust yourself.
All right. And do you feel that we're complete for today?
Yes.
All right. Very good. You to open your heart. Just see and visualize that you're opening your heart and let this healing energy, this loving energy comes in to open your heart even more, and until your heart is fully open. And not just it's open now, it will be open always. You are ready to accept anything, to accept the fact that you are here, understanding that you are coming from Andromeda, that you are here in a human body and experiencing this human life to learn, to grow, to evolve, and to shine, and to heal others. Your heart is open to accept this fact, understanding everything, and remembering who you are, why you are here. And this heart will be open always to receive higher frequency energy from the light beings. The heart will stay open. How do you feel?
I feel like there's a swelling of energy coming from above to my heart, my chest.
Very good. Swirling. What's the color?
White.
And this swirling energy is opening your heart.
It's healing.
Healing. Let it complete this process. And let it do its work. And connect with this energy. And I want this energy to be with you all the time. Where do you think the energy is coming from? Beautiful. So now you are connected and your heart is open. And this energy will stay inside of you. And you will never forget who you are, why you are here. 5. So you are going to be able to open your eyes slowly. welcome back to Earth. How do you feel?
It's so intense.
We start like 6:30. Guess time. What time is it now?
8:30.
9.
Wow.
Like 2.5.
Oh.
How do you feel physically?
Like my body is heavy.
Is it heavy?
Yeah.
So it's you need to kind of how to say, grounded.